I believe David Bowie to be one of the most influential rock and pop artists of all time. David Bowie's impact on the music industry cannot be understated, and his legacy should be passed down for generations to come. In his lifetime, David Bowie wrote 26 albums, 126 singles, and won numerous awards and accolades for his music. David Bowie was born as David Robert Jones in South London, England on January 8th of 1947. David Bowie was first interested in music when he started playing the saxophone when he was 13. David Bowie as a child was heavily influenced by beat literature and rock music. His interest in music stemmed from his half-brother Terry, and unfortunately his half-brother Terry was institutionalized when David Bowie was pretty young due to mental health issues, and in 1985 Terry would commit suicide, which influenced David Bowie's later music. When he was a teenager, he also started a band called David Jones and the Lower Third. And in 1969, David Bowie released his hit song, Space Odyssey. His song, Space Odyssey, was popularized due to the BBC's coverage of the Apollo 11 moon landing. And unfortunately, it wasn't released in the United States until 1972, when it charted at number 15. David Bowie's 1970 album, The Man Who Sold the World, also catapulted him to stardom. In 1971, he released his album Hunky Dory, which had hits like Andy Warhol and Changes. His album, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, catapulted him further into stardom, and he probably reached the height of his fame during that time. And it's personally my favorite album, so you should definitely check it out. In the 70s, he also released albums like Pinups, David Live, Aladdin Sane, and Young Americans. His Young Americans album had hits like Fame, and his album also charted at number 1. In the 1980s, he released albums like Scary Monster and Let's Dance. His Let's Dance album is widely considered his best album by critics and fans, and it had hits like Modern Love and China Girl. David Bowie also received many awards and acclaims for his music and his performances. In 1996, Bowie was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He also received 6 Grammys, and he won the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. He's also an actor, so he's been in 30 films. In 2013, he released his album called Next Day, which was charted at number 2 on the Billboard charts. And in 2014, he released his collection of greatest hits, which was called Nothing Has Changed. He released his final album called Black Star on January 8th, 2016, which was also his 69th birthday. And unfortunately, 2 days after that album's release and his birthday, he died on January 10th, 2016 due to cancer. Despite his death in 2016, David Bowie's music is timeless. His life and career should always be remembered as legendary. Throughout his early life, awards, and wide discography, David Bowie has highly influenced the music scene from the 1960s all the way till now. David Bowie is my favorite artist of all time. I hope his legacy is remembered for a long time to come, and I think you should definitely check out his music.